Happening now, Marvel's Margo brings Christmas spirit to Mayville and beyond. And bipartisan push condemning United Nations inaction on Hamas's sexual violence against women. Plus, JP's Capital Project passes with 89% of the vote.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us at WNY News Now. I'm Lee Kane Jr. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, U.S. Attorney Trina E. Ross announced today that a 48-year-old man from North Tonawanda, New York, who was convicted of receipt of child pornography, was sentenced to serve 87 months in prison and 10 years supervised release under U.S. District Judge Richard J. Arcara. Assistant U.S. Attorney Charles M. Crewley, who handled the case, stated that Michael Angstenberger, 48, created and used a Snapchat account with the username Katybug1234 to communicate with and obtain sexually explicit images from minor girls. When doing so, he posed as a minor girl. Angstenberger communicated with minor victims in other states and countries. For example, Angstenberger communicated with a victim located in Kentucky, known as Victim 1, who was 12 years old. On December 5, 2021, Angstenberger asked Victim 1 to send him sexually explicit photos, which she did. Angstenberger communicated with the second victim located in Arkansas, known as Victim 2, who was approximately 11 to 12 years old. Victim 2 also sent sexually explicit photos as Angstenberger's request. Well, in other news, on the night of December 12, 2023, at approximately 11:04 p.m., Lakewood Bustye police were dispatched to Bustye Sugar Grove Road in response to a reported family altercation. Allegedly, Jeremy S. Card of Jamestown, New York, engaged in a heated argument during which he purportedly threatened to stab a victim with a large hunting knife. The incident escalated further as Card reportedly pushed the victim, all transpiring in the presence of a young child. Jeremy S. Card, 22 years of age, now faces charges of menacing in the third degree, endangering the welfare of a child, and harassment in the second degree. The charges were filed in the town of Bustye Court. Following his arrest, Card was transported to Chautauqua County Jail pending arraignment. Well, in other news, U.S. Attorney Trina E. Ross announced today that a 32-year-old Bath, New York man who was convicted of possession of child pornography by an individual with a prior conviction was sentenced to serve 162 months in prison and 15 years supervised release by U.S. District Judge Charles J. Siragusa. Assistant U.S. Attorney Megan K. McGuire, who handled the case, stated that in August 2016 and again in September 2017, Ryan Hamilton was convicted in Steuben County Court of possessing sexual performance by a child less than 16. In October 2019, while being supervised by New York State Parole, Hamilton possessed approximately 87 videos and 1,124 images of child pornography on an SD card. Some of the images and videos included children under the age of 12 and depictions of violence. The sentencing is the result of an investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation under the direction of Special Agent in Charge Matthew Maraglia, the New York State Police under the direction of Major Eugene Staniszewski, and the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision under the direction of the Acting Commissioner Daniel F. Marticello III. Well, in other news, on the evening of December 11, 2023, at approximately 7:50 p.m., Jamestown Police Department's 2nd Platoon responded to a stabbing incident at an address on the north side. Officers discovered a male victim with multiple stab wounds to the chest in an apartment. The victim received on-site medical attention before being transported and airlifted to a trauma center at another hospital. Following a swift investigation, officers apprehended 27-year-old Askia Faison, a resident of Jamestown, shortly after the incident. Faison was taken into custody without further issue and found to be in possession of a small quantity of fentanyl. Faison now faces serious charges including first-degree assault, a felony, criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, also a felony, and a criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 7th degree. The suspect was held pending arraignment, and on December 12th, Faison was arraigned in Jamestown City Court, subsequently being committed to the Chautauqua County Jail. As WNY News Now continues, Marvel's Margo brings Christmas spirit to Mayville and beyond. And later, bipartisan push condemning United Nations inaction on Hamas's sexual violence against women. Stay with us as WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
Please, give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job.
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real.
Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
Move over.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Marvelous Margo, the proprietor of a local bed and breakfast in Chautauqua, is weaving a tapestry of holiday magic through custom designs, catering, and community involvement. In the heart of Chautauqua, Marvelous Margo, owner of a charming bed and breakfast, is orchestrating a symphony of festive activities.
Hello, I'm Marvelous Margo, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my life during the holiday season. The holidays are an extremely busy time for me. Besides having guests in my bed and breakfast, I'm designing custom Santa and Mrs. Claus garments, and occasionally there is an elf that needs a new outfit.
Amidst the hosting guests, Margo's artistic flair takes center stage as she meticulously designs custom Santa and Mrs. Claus garments, occasionally fashioning whimsical outfits for elves. Venturing beyond her bed and breakfast, Margo is embracing a whirlwind of catering requests. Her diverse menu tantalizes taste buds with full meals, delectable pies, cakes, dessert bars, cookies, appetizers, and quiche. For those yearning for an exclusive dining affair, Marvelous Margo graciously opens her home, requiring reservations made at least a week in advance. A staunch supporter of the arts, Margo is an integral part of the Friends of Chautauqua Theater. On December 16th, the Chautauqua Fire Hall will host a Christmas play reading directed by Dr. Robert McClure, titled Rakish Remembrances.
I'm also involved with the Friends of Chautauqua Theater. We have our Christmas play reading the 16th of December in the Chautauqua Fire Hall. The plays are directed by Dr. Robert McClure, and he is calling the series of plays Rakish Remembrances. The skits include both hilarious, touching, meaningful performances from the past, as well as a few poems that provide a different lens for seeing our world. It just so happens I am in a short skit called 2 for 1 with my partner, Dr. Mary Lee Talbot. We're both hookers standing under a sign that reads 2 for 1.
Margo, not only catering the accompanying dinner, will transform the venue with her extensive collection of nutcrackers. Marvelous Margo's infectious holiday spirit recently radiated at Music for Your Mouth in Mayville and UPMC Chautauqua, where she shared a festive lunch with employees.
Marvelous Margo here. We're in Music for Your Mouth in Mayville, New York, and we have Santa with us today. This is an annual outing for the children. They come down and talk to Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they get a candy cane. And we have Jingles the Elf. Jingles, come on in here.
Hi, Mrs. Claus.
Hello, here's some Jingles.
Hi, everybody.
We're just having a good time here.
We are.
Music for Your Mouth in Mayville, New York. Thanks for joining us.
Juggling various roles, Margo remains a steadfast beacon of Christmas joy, not only illuminating Chautauqua, but also extending her warmth to the broader community through her talents and goodwill. Well, in other news, this winter, Audubon Community Nature Center, ACNC, is inviting children aged 4 to 12 to embrace the season through 2 exciting holiday camps, fostering outdoor play, exploration, and winter-themed learning. The first camp, slated for December 27th, caters to ages 5 through 11, while the second, on December 28th, welcomes children aged 4 to 12. Both camps run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., providing a full day of winter activities. Emphasizing outdoor engagement, children are encouraged to dress appropriately for the weather, preparing for the transformative effects of cold, wind, and ice on the landscape. The day's focus is on the dual elements of learning and play. To facilitate a comfortable experience, parents are advised to equip their children with water, snacks, a non-refrigerated lunch, and spare items that may get wet. The cost is $48 per day or $36 for Nature Center members, with an additional $5 discount for siblings. Due to limited enrollment, reservations are mandatory with a deadline of December 25th for ages 5 through 11 and December 26th for ages 4 through 12. For more information and registration, contact 716-569-2345 or visit audubоncnc.org under Programs and Events. Notably, the Nature Center will be closed on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. Well, coming up next, a bipartisan push condemning the United Nations inaction on Hamas's sexual violence against women. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Let's take a look at some of the reported wind gusts from yesterday. As expected, where the wind advisory was, the strongest wind gusts were across the Niagara frontier. Buffalo Airport, 52-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That was the strongest reported wind gust that I saw yesterday reported. Niagara Falls at 48 miles per hour. Hamburg at 46. The Dunkirk Airport, 43 miles per hour. Wellsville at 40. And down here across the southern tier where the wind gusts were weaker, Jamestown had a reported wind gust of 31 miles per hour. Let's talk about snow, or the lack thereof snow at the Jamestown Airport. On average, from October 1st through December 13th, which is today, we should have about 17.6 inches of snow at the Jamestown Airport, and still we only have 8.8 inches, and that's a difference of 8.8 inches below where average should be. And the NOAA Climate Prediction Center is projecting above average temperatures to take us through Christmas, so it doesn't look like there's going to be much snow in the forecast, at least for the next few weeks, but we'll see what happens. Almanac for today made it to a high of 41 degrees yesterday in the city of Jamestown. Our low was 26. The records for today, 62, the record high set back in 1901. The record low, negative 21, set back in 1988. Similar to yesterday, I will not be showing you future scan because there's not much to talk about. High pressure will maintain dry weather through the end of the week and pretty much into the weekend. So here's your forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy to mainly clear skies. Cooler spots will be inland, as usually is the case. Overnight lows range from the mid-20s across the valleys to the lower 30s at the immediate Lake Erie shoreline. Your forecast for your Thursday tomorrow, another beautiful day out there, partly to mostly sunny skies. Enjoy that vitamin D from the sun. High temperatures tomorrow will be a little bit warmer than they were today in the upper 30s to the lower 40s with a southwest wind of 7 to 11 miles per hour. The rest of that 7-day outlook from Ultimate Solutions, not much to talk about in terms of precipitation. A weak cold front will start to drop through the region later on Friday. That might touch off an isolated rain or snow shower, but I did not put it in the forecast because it's going to be relatively weak cold front. Temperatures on Friday otherwise will be in the mid-40s after the upper 30s tomorrow. Heading into the weekend, looks like a pretty dry weekend out there. The partly sunny skies continue. Temperatures generally will be in the 40s, and then we'll watch for a system late Sunday into Monday. Might bring in a chance for some rain and snow showers, but we're still kind of too early to tell timing and the strength of that system. And after that, chance for some rain and snow showers on Monday. Looks like we're going to be drying it out again towards the middle of next week.
Andrew, thank you. Well, U.S. Senators Kirsten Gillibrand, Jackie Rosen, Joni Ernst, and Susan Collins, and Chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Ben Cardin, led a bipartisan group of 28 colleagues in a letter condemning the inaction of the United Nations, the UN, regarding Hamas's widespread sexual violence, including mass rape and mutilation, against women in Israel on October 7, 2023. We write to express our profound disappointment with the United Nations' response to Hamas's widespread sexual violence, including rape and mutilation, as a weapon of war against women in Israel on October 7, 2023, wrote the senators. A growing body of evidence, including the testimonies of survivors, witnesses, and first responders, makes clear that as part of Hamas's terrorist attack that killed 1,200 men, women, and children on October 7th, the terrorist organization intentionally used rape and sexual assault as weapons of war. Sexual violence, particularly on this scale and of this level of brutality, must be condemned unequivocally and without qualification, which is why we were shocked that it took UN women nearly 2 months to speak out against these atrocities, the senators also wrote. We urge you to move swiftly to seek the establishment of an independent fact-finding effort through a separate mechanism tasked with collecting testimonies from survivors and witnesses of Hamas's sexual violence. An independent investigation is a necessary step to holding perpetrators accountable, support survivors, and provide justice for victims. Well, coming up next, JPS Capital Project passes with 89% of the vote.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
If you want to speak truth to the masses, make it funny for the classes.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Voters in the Jamestown City School District have approved the JPS 2024 through 2029 capital project with 89% of the vote on Tuesday, December 12th. The project needed 60% approval in order to pass. The vote resulted in 379 yeses, 46 noes, and 2 blanks/voids/scattering. The project, which had no proposed tax impact to local taxpayers, will aim to cover $126 million of improvement work to each of the district's school buildings and bus garage. Well, that's going to be it for us today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. You can download it today for free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We're also on channel 716 on Roku and at channel716.com. Thank you for watching.